All right, well, it's afternoon, so I will call the public hearing to order.
Oh, that's me.
And that's Lori Dunlap. It's the Lori Dunlap Show.
Dun, da, da, da. Welcome, people. Let's see, this afternoon, we're talking about CDBG 2021, which we will be getting $248,534. Let me share this with you, Josh. It's about $2,600 more than last year, which is always nice. The CDBG funds have to be used for one of three national objectives: benefiting low and moderate income persons, addressing blight, or an urgent response to an urgent threat to public safety, such as a disaster. They can be used for a variety of things, such as purchasing and sale of properties, demolition of blighted properties, parks, schools, libraries, senior centers, keeping in mind this is for low-income people, water sewer lines, sidewalks, streets, services that serve to the low-income persons, activities that might create a job, very hard to use it that way, planning activities, mapping, sewage plans, comp plans, etc., etc. Wait a minute. I have solicited for project proposals for this year. Also, this meeting is to alert the public that this money will be coming in. These funds are not used directly for individuals unless some municipality has a project or something that would include individuals in their municipality, but they can't just come to me and say, I need a new house or a new sidewalk, per se. The project submissions are due to me by the end of July. I'll say it here somewhere. And the application's due at the end of October. Are there any questions about how the county has used these monies in the past? Or interest in this year's allocation? All in favor? Well, that is pretty much all I have to say. So bring me your project proposals.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Each year, do we have to do a low-income survey to understand if there have been any changes as it relates to something that would impact the municipality or township?
No, not per se. I do have to write a rather extensive 3-year community development plan.
Okay.
Where we talk about the pockets of low-income persons. Okay. We talk about the pockets of higher minority individuals.
Right.
And DCED and HUD likes to see projects within those areas so
Sure.
that they know that they're helping a disadvantaged population, more or less. When a municipality finally submits a project to me, say to reconstruct a street, then I go in and do an income survey of everyone who would benefit from that project. And sometimes it's not just that street, it might be a side street.
Yep.
Where they would use that every day. Send out an income survey. It's rather basic. It just says, for your size of family, are you above or below this amount of money? No particulars, and then they return it to me.
Okay, so we do that. Okay.
Oh, absolutely do that.
Thank you.
Yes, so, no questions? Thank you.
No questions.
All right. CDBG public hearing is hereby adjourned. And we will now turn to the Warren County Commissioners meeting of June 9th. I would ask that everyone stand and please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded. Anything said in this meeting will become part of public record. Since the last time the Board of Commissioners met, there is only one time where we were together, and that was immediately following the last Commissioners meeting. The purpose was to have an informational presentation by the consultants regarding the comprehensive plan and their milestones and deliverables related to it. In terms of correspondence, there was a grant that I signed and submitted for the adult treatment court. Couldn't wait to put that on the agenda for this meeting. Did I miss anything? All right, public comment. Vast number of public here. Moving on. You see the agenda before you in terms of the minutes for both the last meeting and the public hearing. Are there any amendments, corrections, questions, concerns?
I didn't have any.
All right, finance report.
As of yesterday, we had $2,492,768 in the bank in both the general fund and the Erie Bank fund. Our general fund appears to have 1.7 million in it, but there has been two borrows, one from the tax anticipation for 500,000, one from the savings account. You can see that's down to 744,000. That's because we took 500,000 out. I wanted to note that of that amount, the 1.7, there's $47,000 in outstanding checks. Also, we are about to write checks for $1.1 million. So I'm projecting that we're going to borrow another $750,000 in the next week.
Okay.
It's going fast.
Well, you're going to approve the CHIRP funding, and that has to come out of there. That's in the general fund, along with the Safe Rural Schools, or Secure Rural Schools funding this week.
All right, that makes sense.
Any questions?
You're doing the HR report?
We did the minute.
We did.
We did review, we did say there were no changes,
Okay.
yeah.
No changes. HR report?
Human Resources Report as of June 1st, 2021. New hires for the county: Tracy Rawls, effective 5/3/2021, and Human Services. Social Services 83, with an hourly rate of $15.19. Total compensation is $55,110.49. Shane Jameson, effective 5/17/2021, at the jail for part-time corrections officer. Hourly rate of $14.41. Annual compensation $15,496.85. Rebecca Hanlon, effective May 23rd, 2021, at the jail, part-time corrections officer. Hourly rate of $14.41. Total annual compensation $15,496.85. Anthony Mistretta, effective 5/28/2021, at the Sheriff's Department as a full-time deputy. Hourly rate $17.22. Total annual compensation $62,029.55. Changes from Warren County: Crystal Ransom, effective May 13th, 2021, is going from the tax claim administrative assistant to the election voter registration assistant and deputy director. Rate $16.29. Annual compensation is $55,140.97. Separations from the county include Randy Haley, effective 4/30/2021. He was a part-time maintenance worker, eligible for pension. Now, Elsie Huser, effective May 6th, 2021. She was in the Court of Common Pleas as a court reporter. She is pension eligible. Rebecca Klauser, May 14th, 2021, in the jail. She is a full-time corrections officer. She is not pension eligible. And Tracy Rawls, exit the county, May 28th, 2021, in Human Services as the Social Services aide, and she is not pension eligible.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Very good. There's no proclamations on the agenda, so I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second, you heard the motion. All those in favor, please state aye. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to add one thing, that we received half of the American Rescue Plan funding this week.
Oh, already?
Wow.
Great. All right. Motion was made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. No old business, new business. The approval of the hospitality grant funds disbursement. The Northwest Commission was hired to make the recommendations, receive the applications, and review them. The statute required that they be in increments, I believe, of $5,000. So as a consequence, these are very straightforward numbers. Draft House 50,000, AIL Hospitality, aka the Days Inn of Warren, 50,000. Excuse me, eligible up to. Sorry, the disbursement final was 30 for each of those. Quality Inn, 30. Sweet Sarah's Kettle Corn, 10. Peppermill, 30. Bucket, 30. Catering Plus, 10. Forester Restaurant, 30. Harbor Coffee House, 30. I don't know that company. Douglas?
Yeah, it's the plaza.
Oh, the Plaza, okay.
Oh.
The 30. Ralphie's Pub, 30. Hotel Tidiu, 30. Richland County Subway, 30. 3291 Market Street LLC, 25. Scott's Apple Warren, 25. Iron Kitchen Promotions, 25. Snuffy's Cafe, 10. For a total allocation of $435,000. The Northwest Commission did ask that we increase their fee slightly since there was leftover between what could not be allocated, essentially wasn't up to $5,000, so they asked for the return back to them as an admin fee, which I thought was perfectly reasonable. So in reality, we funded some people 100%, and most of them 60 or 50% of their eligible. So that's pretty good.
Yep, more dollars coming back to the county, that's for sure.
So I would move to approve this allocation schedule from the Northwest Commission for the CHIRP funds.
I'll second that.
Discussion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, Resolution 3182. This is an annual resolution that we have to pass as part of the Equal Housing Opportunity program, and it is essentially advocating for fair housing. Again, we pass it every year, so it's already our standing policy. I would make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
From Laura.
When can I talk about it?
You want to talk about it?
I do.
Can we talk about it now?
Thank you very much. What I also need to do besides pass the resolution is I have to announce and notify the public that I am the designated fair housing officer for the county. If you feel you've been discriminated against because of your housing, you are to contact me, and I will point you in the right direction to HUD. Especially if someone, because of your race, color, sex, national origin, religion, familial status, families with children, handicap, may not be discriminated because of those things. There's also reference to support animals for persons needing those. And if someone refuses a rent to you or sell to you because of these, what do we call those? Race, sex,
Protected status.
Thank you, yes. Protected statuses. In any way, shape, or form, then you have possibly been discriminated against in housing, and the county does not support discrimination in housing, and we will assist you with finding assistance how to deal with it. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Did we have any complaints last year?
I had one, I believe, and the landlord and the tenant were relatives,
Oh.
and it was much more of a legal issue than it was a housing discrimination
Okay.
issue. People think that they're being discriminated against, but it's not. I said, well, is it because of your color? Is it because of, you have children or whatever? No,
So you do the investigation yourself as well?
I ask questions.
Okay.
I don't go out or anything, but I mean, I haven't had to.
Well, that would be.
But no, but,
Okay.
no, I'm mostly a pass-through to put them in the right direction. I have a couple HUD numbers and attorney numbers that I can refer them to. Thank you.
Very good. The motion was made and seconded, correct?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, there's an agreement with Youngsville Borough for tax collection. You may recall, as we stated earlier, last year, Youngsville Borough and the City of Warren both have their own tax collection agreements with the county, whereas every other municipality has tax collectors that are elected and paid based on what commissioners set before the election year. Youngsville is similar to the city of Warren's, had not been updated in quite a long time. Attorney Schmidt, did you have anything you wanted to say about it? Pam?
I reviewed this agreement. I approved it. It's generally acceptable. There were edits that were made throughout the negotiating process. They were small.
And the school district has also approved it.
Okay, good. You're good. This is kind of one of those ironic agreements that you initiated in your old position, huh?
Thank you for taking care of it.
We were gonna wait until you were hired.
Let's see if it was still fair.
Would have been much higher, so glad we didn't wait.
They also want to go retro to 2020.
Right.
Because this is how long we've been working.
Yeah. Okay. And that's in here.
Is,
I don't know that that's in the agreement, but.
Okay.
that's not, I see handwriting in the margin on the second page.
Right, that's fine, you're right.
When did they notify you that?
When we started working on the agreement,
It was last year.
Well,
It's almost been a year.
yes.
Yeah.
hold on, well, just a minute.
Let me just make a motion here.
Well, let me just give me 1 minute.
We can move on and come back to that.
Yeah. Let's come back to it, and I will, I'm looking for an effective date, because if it's effective back to 2020, then you don't need an amendment.
Okay. I'll need you for the next one. So the next thing we'll move on to is the Medical Assistance Transportation Program. This is an annual approval through the talk. Quite standard. Any questions?
Nope, so we're passing funding.
I'm skipping McNees because he's.
Yeah.
Could I hear a motion to approve the MATP?
I would be glad to make that motion to approve the
Second.
MATP. Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, repository bids. We have, let's see, just one. This is Tango Delta 27617150000, currently owned by Charles McManigal in Tidio Borough at 277 Main Street for the assessed value of $13,288. It was bid on by James Bailey for $2,100. Any questions? If not, could I hear a motion to approve the repository bid?
I will make a motion to approve the repository bid.
Motion made, and I second. All discussion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Ready? Okay, back to Youngsville Borough.
I would direct your attention to, it's paragraph 1 at the bottom of page 1. The borough shall collect real estate taxes owed to the district and county by residents of the borough for the 2021 tax year and thereafter. I can approve the agreement as written. The agreement as written is how it was approved by the school district. If the school district and the county want to revisit some kind of agreement to reimburse for 2020, that's fine, but we can't do it in this one.
That makes sense.
Fair enough.
They've been paying the higher amount all along
Okay.
School district.
without a signed agreement. When they wanted, first put it through, the school district increased their amount. And they've been paying that amount that was in,
Okay.
that they had asked for. We just never settled on an agreement.
Youngsville wants to prepare an amendment to the agreement or a separate brief agreement on 2020.
That makes
The
sense.
commissioners will review it.
It can't be as simple as a motion to amend this to say 2020 rather than 2021.
It could be, it's not, then it wouldn't be the same agreement that the school district
That the
signed.
school district signed.
Right, but they have, to Pam's point, they've been paying that anyway. So in effect, it is the same agreement.
I mean, this agreement is already signed by the school district in Youngsville Borough.
That's true. We we can, I mean, I don't see a problem with requesting for them to ask us to make this retroactive to 2020. Just deal with this separately. 'Cause we have we paid back to 2020 yet? No, we have not. Okay,
What
so
we
we've not.
paid in 2020 was the 68 cents,
Right,
because that was the
Correct.
agreement that was in place.
right.
Would I take that as a motion to approve the tax collection agreement as written?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second that. Discussion. Final comments? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next, McNees, Wallace, and Nurick. For this, I'll turn it over to Attorney Schmidt to present.
Sure. Earlier this year, there was a case filed in the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania against the vast majority of the various prothonotary in their official capacity throughout Pennsylvania. And it purports to be a class action lawsuit. The allegations are essentially that the judicial code, which provides for how fees are charged, filing fees are charged, that those charges have been inappropriately assessed against certain governmental entities. There's a particular section of the statute that states that only $10 will be charged to any agency or entity of the Commonwealth. So they're looking to recover any excess fees paid on behalf of any government entity that's filed with the prothonotary for the last 6 years. McNees, Wallace, and Nurick, who's also the counsel for the CCAP, has offered to provide joint defense for many of the prothonotaries in the Commonwealth. When I spoke to lead counsel for McNees, they said they had obtained the representation of over 40 of the prothonotaries. So they've presented us with an engagement agreement and also a joint defense agreement. I've reviewed those. They meet with my approval. I think this is the most efficient approach to defending this action, because the fees of this firm will be jointly shared amongst all of the different prothonotarians that they represent. Hopefully, our hope is that actually the case may get dismissed on some procedural grounds. I've also reviewed this case initially with our prothonotary, Jen Phillips. We think that the prothonotary's office exposure is low, because there's simply not many municipalities that are making filings with our prothonotary on a regular basis. So I recommend both of these agreements for the commissioner's execution.
I will make that motion.
Second. Discussion? Questions? All right, the motion was to approve the agreement with McNees, Wallace, and Nurick for representation pertaining to the prothonotary. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, there is an Act 13 request before us, forwarded from Planning and Zoning. It is for the Jackson Hill Road Bridge, and it is eligible for Act 13 bridge funds, and we do have the money in the account. This is essentially for new decking and approaches on this bridge, which frankly is, in my opinion, rather scary to drive over currently. They're requesting $60,000. It is a structurally deficient bridge. They are contributing $10,000, and for a total project of $70,000. Of course, that estimate was before the current cost of lumber.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
anyway, any questions? One more thing I would note is that this was on our 2022 plan to contribute to. However, the 2021 bridge, which I believe is in Freehold Township, is being deferred another year, so we decided to move up the Spring Creek request a year. So I would ask for a motion to approve the bridge project in the amount of $60,000 for Spring Creek Township.
I'll make the motion to approve the Act 13 at-risk bridge project for the amount of $60,000.
Second, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, agreement with BHARP. Attorney Schmidt, would you please walk us through it?
BHARP is an agency that the county has a current agreement with. They act in a role where they coordinate, in this case, for this particular contract, behavioral services, sort of either as a provider or a coordinator of providers for people eligible for Medicaid. So basically, this letter of agreement just states that the commissioners on behalf of the jail will coordinate with BHARP to provide mental health, behavioral health services to inmates where they're eligible and where it's appropriate. So I've reviewed this and otherwise meets with my agreement. I propose it for your execution.
Do we hear a motion to approve the BHARP agreement?
I will make a motion to approve the agreement with BHARP.
Second, discussion. Hearing no discussion, you heard the motion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Finally, last minute addition to our agenda, we have an existing agreement with Caffarty, Ferguson, Wyrick, Weiss, and Gabriel for HR support, legal services that is. We've also decided to move in the direction of having an addendum to said agreement to have them handle a tax assessment appeal. Do you want to add anything, Attorney Schmidt?
One of the firms that handles some of our assessment appeals advised that they were conflicted out of this representation. I also was conflicted out, so we reached out to Caffarty. They stated that their representation of the county and the other taxing entities would not be a conflict vis-a-vis Northwest. So we're just proposing to retain them for this case.
This case specifically is the Northwest Bank tax assessment appeal.
Correct.
Very good. So this is an addendum. Any questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second, discussion. Hearing none, you heard the motion. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Anything else to bring before the public?
Nope. I mean, Nathaniel and I are still moving forward on the broadband structure, you know, in the event that we're able to do something there. I did have a conversation with Bill Carnahan. He is the government affairs official of Verizon. He said that the only thing that they're doing in this year, and they've already completed all their projects, is replacing some copper for their landlines. And so I asked him if they intended to look at some, you know, more projects in the future, and is Warren County included in, you know, extending fiber. And he said that he doesn't know that for 2022 he's going to be in touch. So I reached out, we've made that contact. He said that there are other communities that are moving the same direction that we're going, and that Verizon, you know, being the incumbent, would have to provide a right of refusal waiver, and he said that they would be willing to do that. They don't want to inhibit us in any way from being able to move ahead with our own project. So that was informational. He'll get back to me with any information as it relates to 2022, and I also asked him to review the RDOF fund and then look at what's left to build out the fiber to see if that would be any more profitable for them, or have they have any interest in it. So
It's good progress.
I had a discussion with an attorney that has had discussions with one of the possible bidders. It appears that, you know, the two options to move forward, one of them would be to request the IDA act as a vehicle for the ownership and financing, the installation of the dark fiber. Another option would be to locate or create a nonprofit corporation to the tune of a 501c3 to be the owner of the dark fiber for purposes of installation. So I think there's some pros and cons that need discussed with the commissioners and with the IDA along those lines.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach back out to him and ask what other counties are engaging in putting something like this together. So if they're farther along in the process, we can, you know, maybe take a look at what they're doing in tandem.
Yes, I got, you know, one county that we're gonna look at is Bradford County, who's already done a fiber install. And I got some insight about how they sort of achieved that. I think I would propose you to reach out to the solicitor or have the commissioners reach out to their counterparts and find out, you know, get their thoughts about how the project has gone for them now through installation and operation.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, there's
That's
nothing
it.
more. Then we'll stand adjourned.